Okay, so hello everybody. The topic of my talk today is something that I think we all lack today. Comfort is an important concept, especially now in times of disruption, but not only now. The spatial status of this concept is signaled through the ubiquitous presence of the word comfort in modern discourses on home, health and safety, and individual well-being. People seek to live and work in comfort. Interior designers and architects strive for comfort in their projects. Health professionals point to the importance of comfort for the convalescence of the patients. While the word comfort is frequently used, it is far from clear what people exactly mean when they say it. This matter is further complicated by the question whether people who talk about comfort in a language other than English also mean the same thing. So the primary goal of this talk is to analyze the meaning of comfort in three languages: English, European Portuguese, and Polish. Such a comparative approach helps highlight the cultural particularities of how comfort is used and understood in different languages. To capture what people want to say when they use the English word comfort, Portuguese conforto, and Polish comfort, I will examine dictionary definitions of these words and investigate how they are used in text, analyzing the data from three linguistic corpora: British National Corpus, Corpus de Referencia do Português Contemporâneo, and Narodowy Korpus Języka Polskiego. I will use NSM to explain the meanings and delineate the semantic differences between the three words in question. Now, as Cliff and Anna rightly note, to converse about abstract matters, people need abstract nouns. The utility of abstract nouns, however, should not prevent us from recognizing that their logical and linguistic status is quite different from that of concrete nouns, end of quote. So comfort is a mental construct, an abstract noun, in comparison to concrete nouns such as armchair or bed, which assume the existence of an entity independent of discourse. Comfort does not name a pre-existent thing. It is a fictitious entity, which is treated by people as a distinct category precisely because there is a word that names it. People can say what this something is with the word comfort. From the NSM perspective, if we want to explain the meaning of an abstract noun to someone, we need to paraphrase it away, offering explanations phrased in terms of people, tangible things, bodies, or places, end of quote, again of Cliff and Anna. So according to Cliff and Anna, most abstract nouns are reified discourse topics labeled with a word and associated with thinking about various potential scenarios. The semantic frame they propose for abstract nouns is on the screen, and we saw it already today. The indented part of this definitional frame, line D, describes possible prototypical scenarios. So this means that if one wants to develop an NSM definition of comfort, then one needs to describe a prototypical comfort scenario, or what it is like when someone experiences comfort. A bit of history. The origins of the noun comfort are Latin. The word stems from conforto, confortare, to strengthen. English borrowed it from French, and the first attested examples of its use are from the 13th century. You can see this example on the screen. Originally, to comfort meant to strengthen, to encourage, to support, to relieve the pain. This meaning of comfort, that is helping or soothing in times of trouble, goes a far way in explaining why one of the designations of the Holy Spirit is comforter. Now, the major evolution of the meaning of the word comfort in English, and actually in many other European languages, began in the late 18th century when the Christian hierarchy of values was turned on its head. A search for material well-being and ease made possible by the Industrial Revolution became more important than the spiritual consolation. It is this preoccupation with material commodities that gave comfort its new meaning. Now, according to the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English, the noun comfort has these four main meanings. As you can see, Longman Dictionary gives feeling as genus proximum of comfort 1. But is that really so? Is comfort in its first meaning really a feeling? Or is it rather a state of relaxation, of not feeling anything in one's body? what we can be sure of is that the primes feel and body will play an important role in the definition of comfort 1. Now, when looking at the following two examples from the British National Corpus, one can see clearly that comfort 1 is related to the absence of unpleasant sensory experiences such as cold in 1 or hardness in 2. In NSM terms, one could phrase it as I don't feel anything bad in my body. In the above examples, we can also notice one important characteristic of comfort. It can be related to both places and things. And there is a difference between relaxing in comfort of one's home and a comfort that a special bed can provide. Therefore, two definitions of comfort 1 should be posited, one referring to places and the other one to things. So let's see the first one. The comfort that a place can provide or offer is certainly connected to feeling something good in line H. This good feeling or well-being results from two factors. The already mentioned lack of discomfort stemming from the absence of unpleasant odors, noises, views, and other sensory experiences in line F, and a certain kind of freedom or ease you may enjoy at home, but also in a hotel room, where you can do many things as you want in line G. And I think in English culture, the comfort offered by a place seems to be perceived as a value. That's therefore line I. Now, there is a difference between the physical comfort you can feel in a place and the physical comfort that things you wear or use offer. Both of them refer to feeling good, but in the case of a thing, it is more of a sensory experience. When some parts of my body touch this thing, I don't feel anything bad in my body. Whereas for place, it is about being there and not experiencing bad bodily sensations. In both kinds of comfort, though, there is the absence of bad bodily feelings, and there is a certain kind of ease. But while in a place, this ease or freedom refers to any actions you can undertake. Make yourself a cup of tea or read a book. In the case of things, it is more about liberty of movement. In NSM terms, I can move my body as I want, as you can see in line G, as in while wearing comfortable pants or when sitting on a sofa. Contrary to the comfort offered by a place, the comfort things provide does not seem to be seen as a value. Yet another meaning of comfort is given in point 2 in Longman Dictionary. If someone or something gives you comfort, they make you feel calmer, happier, or more hopeful after you have been worried or unhappy. This meaning points to consolation and relief in times of distress, as you can see in this example from British National Corpus. In NSM terms, we could phrase it as, I felt something bad before, I don't feel it now. I feel something good because of this. Now, comfort 2, glossed as kindness to somebody who is suffering in Oxford Dictionary, refers to bringing solace to someone. In a prototypical scenario of comfort as consolation, there is a person in distress, see lines F and G, and there is another person who has done something to alleviate their suffering, like helping them in need, listening to them, or telling them something nice, line H. That puts an end to negative emotions and makes the person in distress feel calmer and happier. Comfort as solace is definitely seen as a value with strong positive connotations in English. No, sorry. Now, as Anna and Cliff notice, the meanings of abstract nouns don't match across language boundaries. So let me proceed with the explications of two more words for comfort, Portuguese conforto and Polish comfort, to see how they differ both from English comfort and from each other. As it has been noticed before, English borrowed its comfort, meaning relief, from French, more or less in the 13th century, and the word conforto appears for the first time with similar meaning in Portuguese as well. In Dicionário da Língua Portuguesa, there are 4 different meanings of conforto that you can see on the screen. Now, to me, the first and fourth meanings actually are coincident and should be united. Now, let me first look more carefully at conforto 1, meaning consolation. As this example from Corpus de Referência do Português Contemporâneo shows, conforto one in the first place refers to bringing relief to someone in pain. In NSM, we could phrase it as, I felt something bad sometime before. I don't feel anything bad now. Now, this relief may be caused either by someone's action or by something happening, as in this example where moving to the city is supposed to alleviate people's pain and misery. Now, I think that something good happening to someone who experienced some trouble before is the source of conforto one. Therefore, the NSM definition reads as follows. And you can see this line H that is different. As one can see, this definition is quite similar to the definition of English comfort 2. In both comfort 2 and conforto 1, there is a feeling of pain or sorrow caused by an unwanted experience, something bad happening to me, and then a relief. I don't feel anything bad now. Now, the only difference resides in the source of that relief. In comfort 2, it is a person who does something good to me, whereas in conforto 1, it is more a positive event that puts an end to the unpleasant emotion. Now I will now examine conforto 2, that is well-being, with its synonyms of aconchego, coziness, and comodidade, convenience. Conforto seems to be an important characteristic of the Portuguese home, as the collocations conforto caseiro attests. It is interesting that Portuguese students, when asked about the most salient characteristic of casa, a home, answered that it is conforto. The fact that conforto is often used with a reference to one's home or shelter is also corroborated by this example that you can see on the screen, right? So the meaning of conforto 2 can be paraphrased in NSM terms as follows. Now one can see in this definition that Portuguese conforto 2 is really close to English comfort 1a. It is about being in a place where one doesn't experience discomfort and has freedom to do what he likes in line G. These two factors cause some kind of happiness or well-being. Both comfort and conforto are considered a value. There's one important difference, though, between English comfort of home and Portuguese conforto caseiro. I think Portuguese conforto retained some of its old meaning of being something strengthening. In NSM terms, this component can be phrased as, I want to do many other things because of this. You can see it in line I. Now, it is interesting fact that the first time the word comfort appeared in a Polish dictionary was only in 1861. It was imported from English with a meaning of wygody, rozkoszne życie, commodities, delightsome life. According to Słownik Języka Polskiego, Polish comfort has only got two meanings that you can see on the screen. In its first material meaning, comfort one can be referred to as wygoda, convenience, and luxus, luxury. Its antonym is proste życie, simple life. If we compare Polish comfort 1 with English comfort, we can find similar connotations of wealth and luxury in comfort 4 in a Longman dictionary, that is a way of living in which you have all the money and possessions that you need or want. In Polish comfort, however, the connotations of wealth and excess are obligatory. You cannot say biedny comfort in Polish, while its equivalents in both English poor comfort and Portuguese conforto pobrezinho are perfectly acceptable. Now, there is one more important difference between Polish comfort 1 and English comfort 4. In English, there is no reference to elegance, whereas Polish comfort, apart from connoting luxury and wealth, has strong associations with elegance and sophistication, as it can be seen in this example. It points to one crucial characteristic of Polish comfort. It is not always perceived as a value, as in Portuguese or in English. It is something special, maybe even sophisticated, but at the same time, it is not something people seek. And it may take on rather negative connotations of something too easy or lack of effort. Now, let us have a look at the NSM definition. This definition clearly demonstrates that comfort in its first meaning is not about feeling, but about some kind of evaluation, that is, thinking of a place. And most importantly, Polish comfort one does not refer to not feeling anything bad in one's body, contrary to all comforts described before. This is because this material comfort is not about feeling, but rather thinking about a place as being better, not like many other places, and full of many luxury objects, good things, in line G. There is one component, however, common to all different meanings of comfort in the three languages. It is some kind of ease, or in NSM, I can do many things as I want. Now, turning now to the second meaning of comfort, satisfaction of physical and psychological needs, the important collocations are komfort życia and komfort pracy, as you can see in this example. Based on the examples from the corpus, comfort 2 may be best defined as follows. So as we can see, the definition is much more similar to the definitions of English and Portuguese comforts. There is a reference to feeling something good in line E, but the prototypical situation refers, in my opinion, to doing something, working, driving, or even watching. As you may read in line G, when I'm doing this, I don't feel anything bad in my body because of this. Now, when one examines the subtle differences between the three linguistic equivalents, comfort, conforto, and komfort, which so deceptively, they even look alike, point to the same thing, we find that actually Polish view on comfort is much more rigid and less emotional than the way it is seen through English and Portuguese. Polish comfort, opposed to good, simple life with its negative connotations of łatwizna and zbytek, excess, is actually quite prone to becoming an anti-value. It is so different from English comfort, whose moral and spiritual meanings are still prompt many to strive for comfort as the purpose of their life. It is so much easier to see English comfort and Portuguese conforto as a guiding value, given their moral and spiritual connotations of strength, relief from pain, and consolation. Now, while preparing this presentation for our NSM workshop, it became very clear to me that the reason many of us feel so uncomfortable today is because we cannot do many things as we want, which, as we have seen, is a crucial component of comfort in the three languages investigated here. So I think it is really important now to preserve this sense of agency while in lockdown, to be able to say, I can still do many things as I want. Without this agency, we won't be able to offer comfort either to ourselves or to other people. And to conclude, I just want to read this quote from Pope Francis when he prayed all alone in the Saint Basilica a week ago. We have realized that we are on the same boat, all of us fragile and disoriented, but at the same time important and needed. All of us called to row together, each of us in need of comforting the other. And the references, thank you very much.